Today's video, I am giving you a couple of questions that you're going to want to jot down to save yourself from signing up with the wrong company. And yes, I'm talking about for credit repair. Now, the reason that we're doing this is because you guys are asking the wrong questions. You're asking the wrong questions, and because you're not asking the right ones, you're hearing exactly what you want to hear. Because you're telling them exactly what you want. All right, so this is what you need to ask. Now, let's just pause right there real quick. All right. I challenge anybody who wanted to sign up with me or is thinking about signing up with me to first call 5 other companies. Literally, call other companies before you get on the phone with me and ask these questions. The answers will speak for themselves, and I'll see you on the call. All right, here we go. Number one, do you dispute all my accounts at the same time? Do you dispute all of them at the same time? If I have 28 negative items, are you going to do 9 at a time? Are you going to do 28? You can do 1 at a time. How many negative items out of my total are you going to dispute at the same time? If it's anything other than every single negative item, get off the phone. All right. It's mathematically impossible to be done in less than 12 months if you are disputing in batches. So if they are disputing in batches, then this is a company that wants nothing to do with you and everything to do with your wallet. Number two, do you dispute all 3 bureaus at the same time? All 3 bureaus at the same time. If they say, well, we don't want to have it come back as frivolous, so we do 1 bureau at a time, which is also why we're only disputing a couple of negative items at the same time. No. I've been doing this for a decade, and guess what? I've never gotten a response of frivolous for disputing all the negative items at the same time and all 3 bureaus at the same time. Once again, mathematically impossible to be done in less than 12 months if you are batch disputing. Okay? And guess what? If you don't ask these questions, this information is not going to be given to you, right? So you need to know what to ask so that you can protect yourself. Number three, do you send out templates? Are these letters where you're just pasting my information or having it be automatically, entered into a letter that was previously sent for somebody else? That's what a template is. If so, get off the phone. Get off the phone. Get off the phone. Now, I'm not going to sit here for 10 minutes and explain why we don't want templates. If you've seen any of my videos, you 100% understand why I am not a lover of templates. And if you are, do you? That's great. If it works for you, then hey, I love it, right? But for me, for my business, for my clients, for my results, it's a no-go, okay? So the reason why companies use templates is because it's so easy, right? They can put more of your hard-earned money into their pocket because you click one button to import your information from the credit report into their software and another button to print the letters. There's no, figuring out why this account should be removed based on the facts reported on the credit report. There is no looking at the credit report. It's, hey, this is negative, we're going to dispute it. Boom, it's on a letter. It's in the mail. All right. That is why you need to know how they are disputing. You can say, hey, do you use templates, or what type of letters are you sending out on my behalf, or will you send out on my behalf? So you need to figure out how you're going to frame these questions. Number four, if they are telling you that this is a fast process, it's going to be 30 days, 2 weeks, 45 days, it's guaranteed to be this, that, and the third, you need to find out if it has to do with the identity theft credit sweep. Now, a bunch of you haters, disliked my video on why you shouldn't be using the identity theft sweep, and more than likely it's because you are using it, or you did use it, or you think it's okay to use it. But I'm here to tell you that if you are not a victim of identity theft, you should not be using this method. And you need to know if a company is using it on your behalf, okay? This is only your personal information. It's only the cops that are going to knock on your door and put you in jail for 6 months for fraud, okay? That is a real thing. You cannot say that something does not belong to you when it actually does. There's 50 bazillion other things that you can say and other methods and tactics and strategies that you can use to remove these from your credit report. So X this one off of the table, okay? You need to find out if they are going to send a police report, an affidavit, use Section 605B, so on and so forth, because this should not be used for you if you are not a victim of identity theft, okay? If they are going to use it, then guess what? You are the one that gets in trouble, not them. Not them. They can say, hey, well, they said that they were. I believed them. I believe in giving second chances, blah, blah, blah. And guess what? They're off the hook. You're on the hook. Okay. You need to be very, very careful. And let me just add one more thing in there. If it sounds too good to be true, then guess what? In this industry, it is. It is. It's not, it could be, it might be, it is. Okay. There are no shortcuts to getting that door open, the one door of opportunity that's going to make it possible for you to get mortgages and vehicles and higher credit scores and credit cards and hard money loans and all these things that it's just not possible for you to get right now. Can you get a $200 secured credit card? If the answer is no to that, then why would you think that it's easy to get something like a foreclosure, a repossession, or child support, or bankruptcy off in 45 or 30 days? It's not possible, okay? It's not going to happen. I mean, it's there are exceptions, obviously. Go look at my Facebook and my YouTube posts, but it is the exception and not the rule, okay? So we're going to move on from that one, but I am being adamant about this because I see so many people just fall victim to this, and there's no reason for it if you know what to ask, okay? Moving on. Online disputes. If you've ever done an online dispute, you know how simple it is to log into Credit Karma, hit that button and say, hey, not mine, or unknown, or whatever, and that's it. It falls right into their automation system. And if you want to know why you shouldn't dispute online, I have a recent video. Go back, maybe last week or the week before that, you're going to find the video, okay? You should not be disputing online. And if a company is telling you that they digitally submit your disputes, then they're disputing online. You don't want that. All right. You give up so many of your rights, and it's just not something that you should do. Now, let's go to the next one. And I think that this is the most important because you need to know what they are doing with your number one, identity, and number two, your money. Okay. What are you paying for? Every single time you order something online, you get it. You know what you paid for. You go to the store, you get a receipt, you get the item that you paid for. You know where your money is going. So why is this any different? Why are you believing it when people say that, it's confidential, blah, 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 it's proprietary information? And dude, you're dealing with my ID, my credit report, my social security number. This is my confidential information. This is my information, and I need to know what you're doing with it, right? So you need to find out if they will give you the copies of the disputes. If they say no, hang up. Hang up right now. Get off that freaking phone. You need to see what they're sending out, whether they send something out, so on and so forth. They don't work for the freaking NSA. They don't keep a cyanide tooth. Oh, can I see the copies of my dispute? Now they're dead? No, dude, it doesn't work like that. So it is imperative, okay? You need to find out if you get the copies of the disputes. If not, get off the phone. Get off the phone, all right? Two more things. You need to know their total duration. So A, do you have a dispute duration cap? Meaning, do you have like a maximum time frame that you're going to dispute up to, such as 8 months, a year, 3 years, so on and so forth? If not, get off the phone. Get off the phone, because all they want to do is open your wallet or your bank account and jump in and swim in dinero, all right? The program is not meant for you. You are going to become nothing but a number on a spreadsheet. And I know you don't want to be a number on a spreadsheet. Nobody wants to. I don't want to be a statistic. Do you? Obviously not. You need to know what's your average. And yes, I understand that this is the middle of a pandemic and your numbers are probably totally different now than they were before. But what's the average length of time to remove a charge off? By the way, the answer to that is 8 months. All right. How long does it normally take to remove a medical account? Obviously, a collection, right? Used to be 30 days or less. Now it's more like 90. You see how simple that is to give those numbers? If they can't provide those numbers and they're only telling you, hey, look, listen to me. Listen to me. I don't care what you're doing, but you need to stop right now and listen to me. If you hear this phrase, get off the phone, well, you know, it's really as simple as, let me just figure out how I want to phrase this because this whole thing is totally unscripted. Okay, so I can't guarantee you that you're going to get results quickly, but what I can tell you is you can get deletions or results or a higher credit score in as little as 45 days. In as little as 45 days. Want to know why? It's because investigations right now are 45 days because of COVID. Obviously, if it takes 45 days for an investigation and that's when I'm going to get results, then of course it could be as little as 45 days, right? But what they're not telling you is that normally, not even like during the pandemic, during a black swan event, that it's going to take longer than that. And just because you can get results, it doesn't mean you're going to, especially if you have foreclosures or repossessions or, late payments or anything banking related for that matter, or public record related, you're not going to have results then. And if you do, it's an exception. It's not the rule. So if they're not telling you these things, then once again, swimming in your money. You might as well just pull out your debit card and say, well, my maximum amount on this is 2,500. So here, boop, just take it. Thank you. You don't want to do that. No one wants to do that. You don't want to be taken, right? You don't want to be taken for a ride. So you need to prepare yourself by asking the right questions so that you can get the right answers. And if you can't get the right answers, then you need to get off the phone. That's why I said call 5 people before getting on the phone with me, because you are not going to get the right answers. So I'm going to give you the right answers in just a second. Last question. How long does a dispute round normally take? All right. Before the pandemic, it was an average of 30 days, right? Well, you can say as little as 30 days because you can't dispute before 30 days. I would have to put out like 33 or so, depending on what you disputed, when, with whom, method, strategy, tactics, so on and so forth, right? Whether it was bureaus only, bureaus creditors, bureaus creditors collectors, etc. Okay. So having put those to the side, we're just going to pretend that we're only disputing with the bureaus. All right. So pandemic timing is now 45 days, right? 45 days. But off the top of my head, I'm not going to name these companies, but off the top of my head, I can name five well-known companies that dispute every 60 to 90 days. And that is not even during the pandemic. That is just regular dispute timing, because guess what? They're going based off of the reports that come in the mail, right? So they're going based off yesterday's news. They're making you do work. You have to send them. Oh, hey, that's another question. Do I send out my own letters? Do you do everything for me? Do I have to forward you information like my credit report and responses and blah, blah, blah? That's like a whole nother video. But this should be totally hassle-free for you. Like, my program is totally hassle-free for my clients. I literally do everything for them. Sending out the disputes, doing the disputes, dealing with the creditors, bureaus, collectors, so on and so forth. Okay, but those 5 companies off the top of my head do 60 to 90-day rounds because they send out a round of disputes, obviously wait for the total duration of the dispute, so 45, 30, 90, whatever, and then you have to get the responses from your mail and send them to the company, who then have to do their reanalysis and comparison, wait 2 weeks because that's how long it's going to take them to sit on their asses to create your disputes, and then they send them out. So the total timing is anywhere between 70 or 80 to 100 days for every round of disputes. Like, what? Are you freaking kidding me? So this is the timing that it should be. And this is where we're going to start and work our way backwards. So the timing should be outside the pandemic, normal timing. Let's just say 30, 33, 35 days, right? Once again, depending on what was disputed, when, with whom, blah, blah, blah. Okay, right now, because of our current global situation, it is 45 days because the courts have allotted the bureaus an additional timing under some sort of stupid disaster clause, right? I mean, you got 25,000 people that work for Experian, they're all working from home, and all your letters are being processed by computers, and like a handful of people for the VIP department, like Jay Z and Beyonce. And I know you are not Jay Z and you are not Beyonce. So, yeah. Anywho, moving on, 30 ish days or 45 ish days. It should not be 60. It should not be 90. It should not be 120. It should not be whatever. Okay. Time frame should be less than a year. All right. Average of 8 months, less than a year. And yes, it does take that long because once again, you've heard me say this a million times and I will say it until I die. Okay. I'm adamant about this because, like, this is just how it is. Like, you need to understand that this is how it is. If it were as simple as sending out one or two or even three disputes, then guess what? Lenders would stop lending because they wouldn't be able to trust that the credit reporting system works, right? And that would be that. That would be that. There would be no, whatever. There would just be no more lenders, okay? Because there's just some miracle letter out there that can just poof, and that account that shows that other people or shows other people that you didn't pay is now gone because obviously they do risk assessment before they start their business or start lending or start whatever. I mean, that's just the way that it goes. Don't act like they don't know how this works, right? So, anywho, copies of the disputes. I give my clients the copies of the disputes that go on behalf of them to the credit bureaus. Why? Because they need to know where their money is going. They need to know that when I tell them that I dispute everything, every round with everybody using absolutely no templates, that is what I'm doing. Not only that, but they have a client portal. They can see all this stuff, all right? So everything coincides with everything. It's a nice little circle and it's, all nicely handed to them, and it's all packaged all beautifully, right? So no online disputes, no identity theft. Like, I don't care if you're a victim of identity theft, I'm not using that method and I'm probably not even going to offer my services to you, right? Really as simple as that. I don't believe people when they tell me that they're victims of identity theft unless they can provide like all this documentation. And the way that it is that the bureaus aren't going to look at it anyways. So if they're not going to look at it, and I know that you're going to spend more time proving that you're a victim of identity theft than actually, whatever, like, just not going to do it that way. All right. Templates. Obviously, I don't use any templates. Everything that I do is custom to your credit report and the information on your credit report. And if it's not on your credit report, I do not use it. And that is why I get the results that I do. All bureaus, every round. All bureaus, every round. And all negative items every round. If you have 100 negative items, 100 negative items are going out on that letter. You have 50, 50 items are going out on that letter. You got 200, 200 are going out. So those are the right answers. All negative items, all bureaus, no templates, no identity theft, no online disputes, yes to copies of the disputes, time frame average of 8 months, maximum of 12 or whatever it is that they, whatever, and 45 days on the round duration. Okay? You see how simple that was for you to get all that information because you knew the right questions to ask. So we are at the end of this video, but I hope this makes more sense now when I say the right questions to ask a company because these are the things that are going to save you from making the wrong decision. So my challenge to you is pick up the phone and call 5 companies. Pick up the phone and call 5 companies that are not me and ask these 8 questions. The answers are going to tell you everything. And if you do want for someone that actually knows how to get results and do it the right way to do your file or to find out if it can be done and if it would be a good fit, then get the right answers by using the link that you see on your screen right now that is also in the description and in the comments to schedule a call with me, and I'll see if I can help. It's really as simple as that. All right. So I'm going to, I guess, link a PDF to these 8 questions. Really, really simple. And That is it. Click on one of the other videos that you see on your screen right now and make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Happy New Year.